So I would like to open today's meeting. It is, as far as the date, it's November 16th, and the time is, bear with me, 1:17 p.m. And I am, perhaps I'm going to say the acting chairman until we have a vote afterwards to confirm it. But I, Joyce Maturis, will be chairing this meeting. So first of all, I'd like to have everybody I'm going to do a roll call. And Jerry is not on. So,
I just sent her the link.
Oh, did she? I'll wait for her then.
Maybe give her a minute.
Yeah. Thank you.
You can read all the blah, blah, blah that you have to read before until you do your roll call vote. Get that out of the way.
Good afternoon. This is November 16th, and it's an open meeting of the Council on Aging Board of Directors. Is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020. Due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirements of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. This order, which you can find posted with agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as responsible public access is afforded so the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. For this meeting, the COA, the Council on Aging Board of Directors, is convening by telephone conference, video conference via Zoom, as posted on the agenda of the Council on Aging Board of Directors section of the town's website, identifying how the public may join. You may join us by going to http://zoom.us and enter the meeting number. I don't know if I have to say it, but with lack of knowledge, I'll just say it. The meeting ID is 818-9722-2649. And the passcode is 621384. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that attendees are participating by video and or telephone conference. We're prohibited to the board/committee, or we're provided to the board/committee members were provided material to the meeting for review. I'll have to say there's no material for the meeting that has been distributed except for the minutes, which everybody got a copy of online. Applicants of their representatives may be called upon to speak and if needed, share information to the screen. Please state intention after you've been called. Now, these are the meeting business ground rules. I watched a meeting this morning and they did read them. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover the ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I, Joyce Maturis, the chair, will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called further. Please remember to mute your phone. If you're, I guess not, you use number 6 to toggle the mute or unmute or computer mute button when you are not speaking. Please Please use earbuds or earphones with tablets and cell phones. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. Please be aware that video participants can see you and that you should take care not to sheen screen your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. Board/committee members should be called upon in first name alphabetical order to ease the process. If board committee members wish to engage in collage with other members, please do go through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. All right. So, Jerry, I was doing a roll call, and you're first in the alphabet, so you can unmute yourself here. Oh, Jerry, can you hear us?
Yes, I just fixed.
Oh,
okay.
Thank you.
I'm here.
And the next person on my list is Evelyn Noyes.
I'm here.
Then Sandra Small. Sandra, I can't hear you. You gotta unmute.
I'm here, and I need to mention that I have the survey that the expansion committee presented and wanted to discuss it.
I have you on the agenda.
Okay, you said to mention it, so I wanted to bring it up. Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, dear. It is on the agenda. So I want to recognize Jeannie Cunningham. Jeannie is waiting for the selectmen to approve her membership, and then she will have a couple of other steps, but before she can be a voting member, but she certainly can join in on discussion. Are you present, Janine?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. And Cindy Currier is our director.
Here.
Yes, I think that does that. So moving forward, let's go to the actual agenda. And the first thing on the agenda is the call to order, which we did. And now we're going to review and do the approval of the October 16, 2020 meeting minutes.
Okay.
Where we got them electronically, we've probably already read them. So when somebody's at a good place to put in a motion, that'll be great.
I make a motion to accept the minutes as read.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Review of the Council on Aging expenses since the last meeting. So that would go to Cindy.
That's me. So I have 5 items. The first was bottled water that was delivered here to the senior center. I've actually put that delivery on hold for the month of November since we don't have as many people obviously in and out. Just trying to save on that. So the one expense was for water. I don't remember how Maggie did this last month. Do you want me to give you exact amounts?
She in the past has, that'll be fine.
Okay, so that was $32.93. The next was a laptop battery, the laptop that we have here really for anyone at the Council on Aging to use if we were to go out to a client's home. We had to get a new battery. That was $29.94. The Council on Aging fax machine that is here has not been working from what I understand for the past 2 years. So we did get an updated all-in-one printer, fax, copier, scanner machine. That was $598.90. Ordered a wireless keyboard and mouse for myself. at my workstation. That was $20.99. And then we ordered Microsoft Publisher as a way to hopefully update our newsletter. It's a software that will be put on a new computer here, and that was $144.72. And that's what I have for expenses.
All right, thank you, Cindy. Do you have anything else as far as what you might want to share with us as far as what has been happening in your world?
So I have been reaching out to different Council on Aging directors to get some ideas of what they're offering for programs virtually. I'm getting a lot of good ideas. I've also reached out to several agencies to try and get programs on the cable station, one of which is Care Dimensions. They have several programs already recorded that I'm working with our cable station to put up. I reached out to a local home care agency. They have a recording talking about how to navigate the emergency room. I'm trying to get that up on the cable station. One of the other directors that I was speaking with has like a comedy show that he has put out to other councils on aging. So I'm working with them to try and get that up. We actually have the Boston Post cane recipient all set. That is scheduled for the day before Thanksgiving, actually, to present to her just in a very brief presentation. Just due to COVID, we can't really do anything big, but the select board chair will go over and present the cane to her. She has a few family members who will be present, and we've got the newspaper coming to get a little photograph of her. Her son-in-law is going to speak about her life, so hopefully we'll get a good story in the paper to talk about her. And we're just continuing to try and reach out to people, make sure they know that we're here for them, and to try and get more programs started and up and running.
All right, thank you. I'm going to ask the board, starting with Jerry. Do you have any questions for Cindy?
No questions yet.
Okay. And then Janine, do you have anything to comment on or ask?
No, thank you for getting up and running.
Evelyn?
Well, I just wanted to mention that we've been passing out the goodie bags.
Oh, good.
And we've got those, some of them at Oak Ridge. Cindy and I are going to work at Quaker Hill
This week.
And then I believe Cindy's scheduled for Newberry Village. And we've just kind of been passing them out, or, you know, Cindy will tell you what she's been doing, but I'm not just passing the ones I have out to the residents at Oak Ridge. If I see an elderly resident, I give them one of the bags.
Cindy, did you want to comment further on the bags, or is that sufficient?
When I went to Oak Ridge, Evelyn and I would kind of pepper people with questions. Have you been to the Council on Aging? Have you participated in programs? What do you want to see from us? Things like that to try and gauge what their interest is, so we can try and tailor programs. We are looking to hire a program coordinator here. I'm working on that now. Someone who's going to hopefully help us get things up and moving and off the ground quicker than I can do right now. When there's two of us, I think it'll be a little bit easier. But I want to be able to give that person some good feedback from the community. So it's been helpful to meet with people. It's nice. It's nice to meet with people when you're kind of isolated the way things are right now and you don't have that interaction. It was nice to go over there and meet some folks.
Great. Now, Sandy, it's your turn. Do you have any questions or comments for Cindy?
Nope. No, I'm all set.
Cindy, I want to say thank you. I know it's difficult being just you yourself there and one person to answer the phone. So we all will be very happy too when we have another person there with you. So moving on to the agenda, review of the COA expenses. I know we used to take a vote on that, but I was told that it really wasn't necessary, so we'll just listen to them and then we'll let it go by. Did anybody have a question on those expenses?
No.
Starting with Jerry.
No question. I don't think we need to vote. It's already been spent.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. We do not need to vote, but it's nice to know what has been purchased, but we do not have to approve it. And Janine, do you have any questions about that?
No, thank you.
Okay. And Evelyn, did you hear?
I just, I don't have a question on the expenses, but I just wanted to ask Cindy, do we have any money left over from the state COVID money?
Yes. I don't have a figure in front of me right now, but we do. And part of my thought process was to use some of that towards programs. You know, if I can pay someone to put on a program, I would certainly be taking funds from there to help cover that cost. Because we wouldn't need to do things virtually if not for COVID. So,
Cindy, I was just wondering too, I had a thought, remember the ladies that told us they liked the Christmas music? I was wondering if there's any archives in the school. You know, the little kids, who cares if they're now 22, you know, if they have programs, music programs from there, if that would be a possibility.
I can look into that. I will tell you, I'm hooking on with a bunch of other councils on aging, and we are going to put a program on the cable station that I believe it's 4 carolers dressed in costume in front of like a winter scene. And I get to run that throughout the whole holiday season. So once they get that recorded, we'll have that up.
Great.
Nice. Thank you.
You got it.
All right. So is everybody all set then with Cindy? We'll move on. Okay. Now we're into other business. And the first thing I have as far as motions is my chairmanship. I guess it's an automatic when the chairman resigns for any reason, or that the vice chair takes over. But I didn't know, I know I would be more comfortable if we took a vote on that is acceptable to everyone here. So I'm just going to go around, and my motion is,
I don't know. Wait a minute. I don't know if you can make the motion. I can make the motion.
Oh, thank you, Jerry.
I motion that we accept Joyce as the new chairman of the Council on Aging through June, through the next election.
Yeah, I think we nominate in June and or nominate in May and vote in June. So yes.
Through the next election.
Right. Okay, so let's start off with Jerry Dorr.
I nominated.
Oh, you get vote then? Oh, is there a second on the nomination?
I second it.
Oh, thanks, guys. Sorry, this is all new to me. All right, then let's take a vote. Jerry Dorr.
Yes.
Jean can't vote, so. All right. Evelyn Noyes.
Yes, with a big thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And then Sandy Small.
Yes, with a double big thank you.
Thank you. All right, then continuing on, we have to talk about a vice chair, because if something happened and I was unable to do the meeting, we have to have somebody step into my place. And I would like somebody to nominate the vice chairman. And we'll just nominate and we'll vote next month, because I really do not know the procedure, but that sounds safe.
Actually, you can nominate and vote today. This way it's done.
Oh, great.
You're just reorganizing. And I'm sorry to jump in on you.
Oh, no, Alicia, I'm so glad you're here. You couldn't be a better person.
You're just going to reorganize. Yeah.
Okay. All righty. And can I nominate?
Yeah.
I'd like to nominate Evelyn Noyes.
I second that.
And let's take a vote. Jerry?
Yes.
Evelyn, you can't vote. Sandy?
Yes.
Okay, and Joyce Maturis, yes. So Evelyn is now the new vice chair. Thank you, Evelyn.
Oh, you're welcome. I hope I don't have to use it.
You'd be much better than me. You've had plenty of experience.
No.
All right, so now we have some motions. And the first motion is to accept the Council on Aging survey. We've put together, it's mostly been Sandy, but there was some recommendations from some other towns, and she can explain that if she chooses to do so. But I'm going to have her speak, and then we'll put it up. I'll do a roll call, and then we'll put it up for a vote. So Sandy, this is about accepting the Council on Aging survey.
So somebody needs to move, and then second, and then you have discussion. Then you have the roll call vote.
Make these notes, Alicia.
That's okay. We can have a private class some evening when you have nothing better to do.
I've been watching the private classes with our town council, and I found that very interesting, but also very scary.
Yeah, you got to be careful, but
yeah,
I'm more than happy to help.
All right. So first, we're going to do what was that, Alicia?
You need to move to discuss, or if you're gonna, if you're gonna vote on something,
we're gonna move to discuss, and then
I'm sorry, I misspoke. You need to. What is the intent of the committee to do with this survey?
It's intent to disperse it to the elders to see what their needs and likes are.
Okay, so you want to send the survey out townwide?
No, I think you're jumping the gun. I think first Sandy is just going to explain to us what she has in the survey.
Okay, and then you're going to decide whether or not to send it out.
Once it's approved, we'll vote on it, and then we'll decide, talk about disbursement.
Okay, so I think somebody has to move to send it out, and then you second it, and then you discuss it. And then during that discussion process, that's when you can edit it and you make all the changes that you want to make, and then you vote on to send it out.
Excuse me. Yeah. I don't know you, Alicia.
Okay. Hi, Jerry.
Hi. And you are?
I'm the vice chair of the select board in the town of Newbury.
Okay. So you're the person that has all the information.
Well, I hope so.
And for any other Zoom meeting that I'm in, that isn't how it goes. I got to learn. Yeah,
that's a little bit, but Janine actually has got her hand. I don't mean to take the meeting from you,
go right ahead, Janine.
The way I've always done it as a parliamentarian, usually Sandy presents and we have a discussion about what she's put together. And then during that discussion, then somebody can make a motion to go ahead and send it out,
that's not,
all right.
Yeah, that's not the proper way, but you can do it that way, I guess. What you should do, Janine, is you should take the training. There'll be training, that when you get appointed. But if you notice that our board meetings, we always have a motion, we move, we have a second, and then we move to discussion. And then during discussion, you can table or you can amend the motion, you can change it and do all kinds of stuff.
I have been trained, but I'm just saying this is a preliminary discussion. It's not to set it forward yet.
Okay, so you're not going to vote on it today. I'm sorry. I thought you were going to vote on it today.
We are going to vote on it if the council agrees with what's in it and how it's to be sent.
Okay, so let me step back for a minute. I'm going to watch. You guys do it the way you would normally do it, and then I'll watch. And then if there's something drastically wrong, I'll have town council. You
can fix it.
Well, yeah, we'll have town council reach out.
All right, then, Sandy, back to you on your on the survey for the Council on Aging needs and likes.
Okay, I hope everybody had a copy of it, because I sent the preliminary copy out just this week. I edited some parts. I took a suggestion from Janine, and also Chaz had some suggestions. I did not add all of the suggestions, but there are some that I questioned if we wanted to add or not. One was, have you ever been to our COA? Do we want to add that to the, do you want me to explain that now, or do we want to vote on this?
I think, how many have actually read the last copy from, okay.
I did.
I did.
Okay, so you guys have all seen it. So what I did not add were, have you ever been to our council? Do we want to add that?
I don't think it's right.
I think I didn't think it was. Keep it. Let's keep it as simple as we can. Because how many questions? There's quite a few questions, isn't there, Sandy?
There's quite a few now, and yeah. The other question is, do you want to receive contact information and by the mail or by email? And I don't know if people are going to want to leave their contact information because they may want their survey to be private.
Yes, yes, I agree.
So I don't know if we want to even add that.
They could, once, I say no, because I'd be less likely to fill it all out if it was going to be recognized as to where it came from. Anybody else want to comment on that?
I agree.
All right. So I mentioned.
All right, so
go ahead, Sandy.
So then what happens once we've agreed on this survey?
We're going to discuss distribution.
Okay, I know that it has to go through the selectmen. After we decide it's okay, then we have to submit it to the board to our town board for an okay to do this, if it's to go out. All
right, so that would be our next step.
Okay. All right, so I'm not going to change the existing survey. So then I guess we could vote on it if we wanted to.
So we're going to approve to a vote the existing survey that came to us on Sunday.
I don't know what day I sent it, but it was this week. Yeah, probably it was Sunday.
It was Sunday.
Okay.
So we're going to ask everybody for their approval. Everybody has read it. And so we want to approve it as it is now written. So yes, I'm sorry, Janine.
Did you remove the do you live alone question? There was two, it was there twice.
I haven't, but I was waiting for any amendments that happened today, and I will take that out. Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable, Sandy, if we approve it today? Then and then we'll ask our administrator's assistant to get it on the agenda, or however they will do that, and so the selectmen can review it. Right. And at that point in time, maybe we can give them our intent of distribution.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I interrupt here just 1 minute, Joyce?
Yes.
So what are we talking about for a time frame? If we don't vote on distribution today, by the time we get it back from the selectmen, when would that fall into our next meeting, or how's that going to work time-wise?
I don't know, because I don't know how soon the selectmen will be able to approve it, what agenda it will go on, or what is their protocol for approving that. is it just something that they all have a copy of and look at during their meeting? Alicia, can you help us on that?
Sure. So we meet on the Wednesday before the Board of Selectmen's meeting, the week before, to set the agenda. The chair sets it. I'm just kind of going along for the ride as the vice chair to kind of learn. But as long as the town administrator, Assistant Julie, will have this, it may has the potential to go on the agenda for our next meeting, which is going to be the last, we meet the second and fourth Tuesday of each month. So it'll be the Tuesday before Thanksgiving is our next meeting.
That's
Okay.
And then the meeting after that, if it doesn't make it on that agenda, because if we have too much of other, stuff to do, or it's for whatever the reason, it should go on the following agenda. But I see no reason why I can't make it on our upcoming agenda.
Sandy, then once we approve this, will you electronically send it to Julie with the cover letter? Okay.
Yes, because if we decide to go mailing in text, then we have to have it set by December 4th.
Okay.
Yeah, so just make that note in your email to her so she's aware of that. So we make sure we put it on this agenda.
Okay,
so
thank you.
We don't delay you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So I'd like to now take a vote on approving the notes. The survey as discussed. And I'll start with Jerry Dorr.
I approve.
And then Evelyn Noyes.
Yes, with thanks to Sandy putting that together.
Sandy, you can vote.
Yes.
And I say yes. And again, thanks to Sandy. I would have been so lost trying to type that and line that all up. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
So what you guys voted on was to send it to the select board, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll clarify that for Sandy's notes. We're voting to approve it and to get it in motion to send it. She's going to send it to the select board.
So shouldn't somebody have made a motion and then seconded it?
Yes. I believe so, Janine. So we'll back it up. I'd like a motion to accept the minutes and have them electronically transferred to our administrator assistant for the selectmen to put it on their agenda.
Not the minutes, the survey. The survey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A second, please.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Whatever you said.
And now the vote.
Any discussion? And then the vote.
Oh, any discussion on that?
I'm glad Alicia's on so I can ask her this. Alicia, in the past, we've done surveys and other things that haven't had to go before the selectmen. Is this because of the I always use the wrong term, but the needs assessment that we're going through for the new Council on Aging? Is that why we're doing it this way this time?
I think I'm going to ask the town administrator to correct me if I'm wrong, but I understand that any appointed board or committee in the town can make recommendations to the select board, but then the select board has to vote. They have the final say. Like the rec committee, if they were going to send out a survey or have a survey available at town hall, they would make recommendations to the select board. I mean, at town meeting rather, not town hall, town meeting. They would make a recommendation to the select board, and then the select board would take that up and they would discuss it. They might add something on there if they want to add something on there, an additional question. Or they may accept it as is and vote. But that's my understanding. And I'm going to ask, I think Tracy's online, if I'm incorrect, if she would just correct me.
Is that Tracy at the 465 number here or now?
Yeah, I believe so.
Hi, Tracy. Maybe she's not there at the moment. Okay. Were you done, Alicia?
Yeah, I think so. Yep. The select board, and if this is going to go out in a tax bill, the select board definitely has to approve anything that goes out in a tax bill.
Yes,
well, we don't, we haven't had the discussion yet. We don't know if the council, if the board wants to do it that way.
we're going to have the discussion because I think it's important that we do that now. Okay, so Sandy, do you have another question?
I just wanted to make sure what I was, like you said about about when I send it to the administrator, do I mention that we want it out in the tax bill or we're going to do it online by Susan Noyes? I'd have to know that before I sent it to the select board.
We're going to try to determine that right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, okay, so that was discussion. I've lost my place. I think, and did we get a first and a second on it? And now we're going to do a vote? Okay. Yes. Evelyn, I think I'll start with you.
Yes.
And then, I'm sorry, Jerry.
Yes.
You're next. And Sandy?
Yes.
And I approve also. Now, it's the next portion of this is how would the board, or we want your input on how we can distribute this. I'm just going to mention a couple of things and then we're going to see if any of you have ideas. One of the ways would be a sheet in our newsletter, sending it out to the elderly. In other words, if it can all go on one page, it could be an insert in our newsletter, that this survey. And it also could go in the tax bills, but the tax bills, we would have to pay, I believe it's around $500 for that. Yeah. And that would go to the whole town, not necessarily just seniors. And I don't know if anybody else has any other thoughts on it. And then the problem is going to be, how do we get it back without spending money on postage? So I just got to see if I can just open this up for discussion and if I have to have a vote to do that. Why don't we take a roll call and see? All right, so we're opening up discussion to discuss the way we should distribute this and get it returned to us. And the reason we're doing this is with the new COA coming along soon, we hope, or whether it's a year or 2 years. And it would be interesting to know what people would like, and it would be good for Cindy to have an idea as to where to put her strength and what she decides to try as activities, etc. And so that's that. So I'm going to open it up for discussion. Jerry Dorr.
I have a question. Who gets the newsletter?
Cindy can answer that.
So from what my understanding is, we do have a database system here at the senior center, which I believe was updated in the spring, something I want to review with the town clerk to kind of double check, make sure there's no one new that needs to be on there. But from that database, we print mailing labels and we send out the newsletter that way.
I've never gotten a newsletter.
Janine, you haven't either?
I guess we don't exist.
I've never.
So it's clearly not an infallible system, so I have to look into that.
So, I mean, I think that bears bearing when we have this discussion about, do we put them in the newsletter if there's a portion of elderly who are not getting the newsletter?
Right.
And also, if we do it by the tax bill, which it's not going to reach people at the housing,
right?
Because they don't pay taxes.
Yep.
All right, right, ladies. But we're discussing before the vote. If the vote is necessary, we haven't taken the vote yet.
Okay.
Oh, golly.
I know.
I make a recommendation that we allow a discussion about this, but we vote on that, right?
Okay. And
Thank
second?
I seconded it.
Okay, go.
So
So
I think that
Evelyn, what were you saying about the tax bills?
Well, I was just saying, they're not going to reach, like, say, the 3 housings, but that's not an insurmountable problem because, like, I can take care of the 2 up here, and I'm sure I can get help at Newberry Village. So that's not an insurmountable, but it's those people would not be receiving. I just wanted to note that.
right, and people who rent would not get receiving it either, right?
Correct.
Well, let me say, I have been thinking about this for a few weeks and I haven't come up with a solution either, as how is we going to get it returned. Do you think we should postpone this and everyone have some thought on it until, or do you want to just, I've had a hard time with this. What I'm saying is finding a resolution to how do we get these returned to us, because they're not going to come back. They're in the newsletter and there's no postage. Go ahead, Sandy. Yes, Sandy.
There is another option. There is another option that we can use, and this is on the town website. Susan Noyes has the ability to blast it out to all people. Again, it would reach others than, it wouldn't, you know, they might not be seniors, but it would reach the whole population. The limitness of that is if we have their email address. So if you don't have, you know, if we don't have their email address, then they don't receive it. But the good part about that is they are able to, the software that Susan has would actually tabulate all the responses for us, so we could have at least an indication. And when you get it back, you have a number of responses, so you could get the percentage, the feel of how many people are in the town. Okay, how many people responded? So you'd have a comparison response, and you'd be able to get at least a feel for the answers to the questions. And I like that because, number one, it doesn't cost us any postage. There's no work to tabulate the responses, and it can be done, you know, pretty quickly. So, you know, and then if we find that that doesn't work, we could go over and above and, you know, do it in the newsletter. Or we could do a combination of both. But I personally think we should utilize, if we go with it, if we do send a survey, we should go with the online. The other thing is, when we do have a needs assessment done, we're going to get answers to a lot of these questions. So we may be duplicating the work. That's another reason why I would rather just do it online. And then there's not a lot of manpower needed. I mean, I would sit with Susan and we'd get it into the whatever software she says she has to do that, provided it's okayed by the select board, of course. But if we do it that way, then, you know, there's hardly any work involved.
I like that.
I mean, you're not going to get everybody because not everybody has their emails in, and probably not a whole lot of seniors. But that's how we'll kind of get an indication of the number of people that respond. We can compare it to our population. So, and if we only get, say, 100 people, we'll say, oh shit, that didn't work, you know, because we really didn't get enough responses. And then we can go from there. That's
we can start there.
Yeah, wouldn't that,
we'll
I mean, that's my suggestion.
One. Okay. All right. So should we we'll take a vote on that, but that's what will be step number 1. And we will still send it off to the selectmen just to have the approval.
We'll do that first.
Yes.
Right.
All right. So I'm going to call for a vote, please. Jerry Dorr.
Do you want me to make-
Oh, no, I'm going to call for a motion to
Yeah.
accept Sandra's.
I make a motion to accept Sandy's recommendation that we
Yes,
do it online.
all right.
We're
Thank you.
learning.
Yeah, you want to
You
second
guys are
it?
doing fine. You're doing fine.
I'll second it.
Okay, so it passed. No. Now we're going to vote on it. Jerry Dorr,
Yes.
Evelyn Noyes,
I'll vote yes, but do we also have the liberty of passing, like, would it be okay for me to pass out the surveys with a return box at the housing?
absolutely. And
Okay.
we should do that maybe at all 3 housings.
And when Cindy sees people, she could pass it out. So as long as we're able to encompass all these tools that we have available to us, I think it's a good idea.
I do too. All right,
So would you consider that as a friendly amendment
a friendly amendment. I like that.
and vote on the friendly amendment added?
Yes, well, we're going to vote on the motion that was first made and then the friendly amendment. Okay, do we have to make a motion and second it?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, and a second.
I'll second it.
Okay. Jerry Dorr,
Aye.
Evelyn Noyes,
Yes.
and Sandy Small.
Yes.
I'm laughing because this is very exhausting.
No, I'm going to need a nap.
All right, now we're going to get into the important stuff. Not that that wasn't important, but okay.
Can I ask a question? Do you guys have a deadline on when you'd like that back? The survey back? Is it going to be in the documentation you send over to Julie?
I will send it over, yes, that we'd like it back. And if I can ask one more question, I'm going to ask for the selectmen to approve us to do it electronically. And if we should so decide if we want to do it down the road via tax bill, I think I'd like to ask for the approval both times. What does everyone think? So we don't have to bring it up in front of the board again.
Just do it. That's
I
fine.
don't know. I think that's going to elicit an awful lot of discussion with the board at this time.
Yeah, they won't. We send tax bills out in the spring and the fall, I believe. They send out twice a year or 4 times a year. I don't even know. 4 times a year?
Yep.
Yeah. So sometimes we put stormwater information in there and sometimes we put other stuff in there. So it would depend on what has to go out into that tax bill. So we don't want to dilute it. But I have another question, a clarifying question. Is your intent to survey just the seniors in town or is it all residents?
My personal opinion would be all residents, because I would think, just a personal opinion, is that this center could be utilized, hopefully intergenerational. And people that you survey now may not be seniors right now, but they be thinking, gee, in 10 years, I'd like to go to a place like that. So yeah. I wouldn't limit it just to elders, my personal opinion. Anybody else can speak up.
Joyce?
Does anybody have any comments on that they'd like to make?
I don't think it does any harm. I don't think it does any harm. You know, as long as, yeah, I guess you can't send it to a certain age group, but no, I don't have a problem with that, Sandy.
Jerry?
I don't have a problem with it, but I don't think you're going to get accurate information that way. Because people who are 55 now will fill out that application like they think they want to do when they retire. And everybody here knows when you retire, it's very different.
That's a good point. Very good point. For now, what can we stick with what?
Well, we'll have the needs assessment.
What was that?
Right. Right. The needs assessment will project into the future. That's something that's really beyond all of us. At least it's beyond my abilities. I could never do that.
Okay, I'm going to recommend that we stay with what we just approved. And I don't know if I have to do anything other than say that.
So to clarify, when I send the request with the survey to the select board, I'm going to ask for approval to send it via our town website, and that's all, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Because if we send it out in the tax bill, this is why I asked the question, if they go out in the tax bill, it's going to go to all residents. You can't, we can't.
Jerry's, yes, that's right, Alicia. And Jerry's saying at that point, it may take away from the real people or the real answers we're looking for, not the future people, but the ones that are now there. So.
Well, I don't know that the survey online would be just to the elders.
Oh, really?
It's an email blast that goes across the town. So
see, I feel that the Council on Aging is a resource for all of town residents. And I think that it should, first of all, I think everybody should be aware of the fabulous work that you guys do. And if we don't spread that word out, then, you know, some people may not know that you guys provide a van to go shopping. And I never knew any of that stuff until recently. So I think the more we can spread what your mission is and what you do to all town residents, I think the better for the town. So, and I think that the taxpayers fund our Council on Aging through their taxes. And they need to be aware of the great work that tax dollars do. We can't just go into this black hole of, oh, well, it goes to Council on Aging. I don't know what that is. So I just think that, and I think that the townsfolk should have a say in how they want that spent. You know, at least in a survey.
Thank you, Alicia. I'm going to ask for Janine now to speak.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, Alicia. I think, you know, we all pay our taxes to that. And not only that, maybe some family members are looking for things for their their older family members. And so I think she's right. We absolutely should get it out to the town in general, as much as possible.
Right.
Okay.
You're a town resource. Plus you might get volunteers too, to want to help.
Yeah.
Alicia, when we visited one of the senior centers, the director there told us how important the center was to the entire town, and and because of the resources that this director had built up, a child, say, of an elderly parent could come in on their own and receive all kinds of resources and help from the director. So that is true. It's I think it is important for everybody to know about it. Whether we're at that point now where to offer this, I don't think so right yet, but we will be when we have a bigger center.
Mm-hmm. Plus, I think it would be difficult for the online. I don't even know if it's possible in the online system to segregate out over 65 or whatever, what would consider, elderly.
Well, that was my point when we all decided if we sent it to the taxpayers, you wouldn't just segregate it to the elders. And I wanted you to be aware with, well, if we send it an email blast, it's going to go to all ages as well.
Yeah.
And
I think it's a great idea
to do that, because people that want to have their input are going to respond.
Right. People that don't care, they're just going to put it in the recycle bin.
That's right.
Well, there is a problem. Well, not a problem, but there is something we have to consider. How are we going to get that returned to us if it's in the tax bills? Because to enclose a self-addressed envelope, that's a major expense. So I thought maybe first we'll go with the electronic one that doesn't cost us anything. And then if we decide we want a better outreach, we'll vote to spend the money on a tax bill with a returned envelope. So yes, Janine.
I have a question to Alicia. Is there a way to put it on the town page that, you know, where to connect to this electronic if they're interested in, so we could sort of advertise it ahead of time?
There should be, yeah. It should be at the library. It should be, you know, all those places.
Okay.
That's something we could put on the newsletter as well, where to go to fill out that survey.
But Evelyn said, did you say you wanted to drop some off at the different housing centers?
Sure, I can do that.
Somebody's going to have to collect those, and then they'll have to get entered electronically, so that you can analyze what the results are. That's the beauty of an online, is you can analyze the results. Tell you how many said this, how many said that. You can look for trends.
Right. Well, Evelyn will have no problem picking them up. I don't know if they can be entered manually into the electronic
I don't
machine.
I don't know if they will be hand entered in. I know Susan said that the particular software she had would collate and show you trends and
yeah,
the whole thing.
All right, well, let's take a vote then. I'm gonna, if it's all right for me to say that we're going to vote to go ahead, submit to the selectmen, and once we get it back, we will do all that we can find possible to submit it in many different ways. That's probably not the best wording. If somebody wants to make a motion in better wording, I appreciate it. But nothing is off the table on that. We can do everything that's available to us to get those all out. Evelyn, you make a motion for me on that?
Sure. Okay. I make a motion that we, let's see, that we are going to use the survey as, what did you call it, Sandy, when you, through the website, through the town website?
Yeah, the electronic.
Electronic, okay. Submission, and any other ways that do not involve funding. Is that good enough?
I second it.
Let's take a vote.
Aye.
Jerry Dorr.
Yes.
Evelyn Noyes.
Yes.
Sandy Small.
Yes.
Joyce Majoris. Okay, thank you, ladies. Now we're going to have another motion to accept the Council on Aging survey, which we've done. Okay, the Newbury Board of Directors, this is a motion for the Newbury Board of Directors for the Council of Aging, approves the hiring of Contact Architecture to perform the space assessment of the Newbury Council on Aging to use for the architectural plans for the proposed town hall / Council on Aging renovation proposal. This space assessment will become the property of the Newbury Council on Aging if this project does not received the necessary approvals needed to continue. And the cost of the assessment is being paid by the town of Newbury. Would somebody like to make a motion to discuss?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Do you want me to read it again?
No, I'm good.
Basically, what we're saying is so that the design can start, they need to do this assessment to see just what they feel we need. I assume in square footage.
Okay.
I'm going to open it for discussion, Evelyn.
All right. So I think this is a good idea in concept, but until we actually see what is being offered, whether it's new construction, whether it's renovation, whatever it is, we know the site that they're thinking about is 25 High Road, where the existing town hall is. But we're approving to do, we're voting to do this, but we're not voting to commit to it. Is that correct?
That's correct, because we don't know what it is yet.
Right. I know, because some issues have come up about parking and all that. And so we need to be able to understand space and interior space and parking. And the other thing that I was thinking, and this is from talking to other directors, sometimes, right now, that seems to be our only avenue, but sometimes miracles do happen and something pops up. So if we had something else offered to us, would still be free to explore that also. And also the other thing I wanted to make sure, like suppose we have this needs assessment done and we say we just, somebody offers us something wonderful out there that we can't refuse. Our needs assessment would not have to be done for something else. Am I making any sense here?
Well, I know Chaz said that the need assessment is ours after the fact of having it done.
Evelyn, I think you're right, because the needs assessment at the end should say you need like 25 feet of space and X amount of parking that's variable, something that you can convert to wherever you go, no?
Right.
I think we all agree on that. That would be ours, and we just take it to the next building.
Right.
Is Alicia still there?
Yes.
Alicia, I don't know if this is too early to discuss, but all right, say the perfect scenario when we go to, we're included in with whatever is being done to town hall. And there's a cost, say it's X amount of dollars. Would our portion of what it costs to renovate for the senior center, is there any way that could be taken out? Or in other words, when we start as a group to campaign for our center, are we going to be able to tell them what our center costs without the cost of the other things the town hall does? I have no idea what's going to be done, but is that possible?
Well, I think we have to look at I don't know if that's possible, Evelyn. That's my
Okay.
the first thing. I don't know. It might be, but I think when you look at Council on Aging needs, I think you got to look at it in two different ways. And I ask Cindy to step up to speak into this if she can, maybe has a little more knowledge than me. There's space needs, which includes, square footage and parking and privacy and, for the shine and all that stuff. You don't want people to, for those types of needs. And the other part of it is programming needs. What programming is currently being provided to the residents of the town of Newbury? What isn't being provided? What we would like to be provided? What would we like to be able to do more of? Those types. So I see. And Cindy, am I looking at this the right way? Is there additional needs that I'm not even can think of?
No, I believe that's what we're looking at. And I know if you folks move forward with this and proceed with this space needs review, then I would be working with an architect and going over what the team here feels are the necessities. Like you're saying, private meeting space, if we have a certain program, like the Shine Counselor, like Alicia was saying, or we offer a podiatry visit once a month. We need to have private space for that, office space for the staff here. What kind of rooms would we need for the different activities and programs that we're going to offer? Those are things that I would hopefully be meeting with the architect about to talk based on meetings with all of you, as well as the team here, to see what our needs are. I would caution too, I understand, Evelyn, what you're saying, if some miracle happens and someone offers a parcel of land or a building or whatever, but my concern about that is the timing it would take in terms of that going before the town as well, because the town would need to ultimately decide that, as far as I know. That's not just up to them.
Yeah, I realize that, Cindy, and I'm not, but I just like to leave all doors open when it comes to something for the seniors. I would just want open doors so we can take advantage of whatever. But I agree with you on that. And Alicia, did you, from all that sputtering I did, is that what you got out of it?
Well, yeah. So I wanted to just start with the assessment. There's a needs assessment, a space needs assessment, and a programming needs assessment. And is my hope and my plan is to get both of those accomplished with this needs assessment. When you think of a needs assessment, it's what do we need? So once we get a needs assessment, then you can step back and look at what the town has for opportunity for the Council on Aging.
Correct.
Is my understanding that to put it in at the new town hall, although I do see some synergy there where, folks can go to town hall and get some work done and go to the Council on Aging at the same time, that may not be the best fit. So we don't know that answer until we get the needs assessment. There may be a better fit someplace at another town-owned building. Like, I think there's a possibility of, you're currently at the Newbury Elementary School, right?
Yes.
You're in a one classroom there, but maybe there's an opportunity to build out that place. I mean, you have not, I'm sorry, I don't mean to, I'm not trying to disrespect what you're doing, because I think you do a lot with what you have. But honestly, one classroom, you really don't have anything. I mean, you have manpower and you have small space. So you need to, we need to, as a town, needs to step up and say, listen, we got to take care of our elderly, because we have declining enrollment in the schools. We have citizens that are aging in place. People aren't selling their homes and moving to the condominium complex, around the corner, because we don't have one. So I think that that where you guys go, this is first of all, it's going to be a bigger discussion at the select board level. You guys make recommendations for what you think you would like, but the decision ultimately lies with the select board.
Well, it ultimately lies with the town of Newbury at town meeting, so that's why
to
we
spend
wanted,
money, correct, correct.
right.
So the select board doesn't spend money at all. We have no capacity to spend money. We're not the legislative branch of government. That's town meeting. We're the executive branch of government, and we work together as a board of 5 to set policy with we give out the liquor licenses, we contract with the town administrator, the police, and the fire chief. I mean, the special permit granting authority occasionally, we're very limited in what we do. We do not spend any money. Town meeting, we can recommend where to spend the money. And I would strongly advocate and recommend on the town meeting floor that the Council on Aging need be met. But it's gonna have to come from some form of a tax override to build something brand new, because we just don't have it in the operating budget to carve out, a couple of, $1 million for a brand new building. We'd have to buy the land, contract it. It's all prevailing wage. And honestly, I don't see an appetite in to spend money. I mean, you've seen how hard it's been to get a police station and a town hall. It's not even done yet.
Right.
So am I clear? Did I muddy the waters, or did I clarify?
Yeah, it's very clear, Alicia.
Okay,
Very clear.
Good. So I think, personally, and this is just me, that you guys should move forward with the needs assessment as recommended by the town administrator, because that doesn't mean you're going to go to the town hall. That means you're going to find out what it is you need. And it doesn't cost you anything out of your budget. The town already has money put aside for that type of planning. And this time around, the Council on Aging is going to get their share. Sometimes it's the library, sometimes it's something else. But right now, in my personal opinion, the town hall, the town of Newbury not having a home, having rented facilities, and the Council on Aging not having any space, adequate space. You're in one classroom in a school, and I don't want to see you guys go back to the school, period. Even when the school's open, I don't think it's a healthy thing. But that's just me. But those are important needs, and they need to be, we need to step up as a community and take care of it.
Well, thank you, Alicia. It's so good to know that you've got our back. That is
you
great.
have my support 100%.
So I am just going to say on this particular motion, I can read it all again, but I'm going to change the wording on what we need. It's not just a space assessment, it's space/needs assessment. Is that correct?
It's a needs assessment. It's
a needs assessment
and a program needs. Yeah, just put a needs assessment. That'll cover it all.
I will do that.
What do you guys need?
So, Evelyn, I'm going to ask for a vote on this because the next motion covers more. Do you have that for us, Ev?
Yeah, well, it was just the items that I mentioned to you. Yeah, go ahead with your vote now, but I did just bring it up anyway.
All right, and then you'll read the next motion.
Okay.
Remember, we talked about that this morning, so if you need my help on anything, let me know and I can do it, okay?
All right.
All right, so we're going to vote to accept the motion for the Newbury Board of Directors for the Council of Aging improves the hiring of Context Architectural to perform the needs assessment of the Newbury Council on Aging to use for the architectural plans for the proposed town hall / Council on Aging renovation proposal. This space assessment will become the project of the property of the Newbury Council on Aging if this project does not receive the necessary approvals needed to continue. The cost of the work is being paid by the town of Newbury. So I'm going to ask for a motion a vote to accept this motion.
I vote to accept the motion.
And second.
I second.
And now let's take a vote. Evelyn?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Joyce Maturis? Yes. So the motion is approved that we are joining in on the architectural plans of this proposed new town hall COA space.
Oh, that's wonderful, because I think that's the fastest way to get what you guys need done. You know, instead of going out to bid and paying more, you know, paying out of your own budget for it, let's just move this forward.
Right. And as it's going on, once it's done, we'll see if it's going to fit our needs and it has enough parking and all the things that we're looking for.
Right.
Okay, so now we have to approve the last motion. And Evelyn, do you have it or do you want me to find it?
You better find it, because other than what I've been talking about, I can't seem to find anything else that I was thinking about. Or
Okay. Okay, this is the CO agrees with the expansion. The COA agrees, COM, I don't know what you meant here. To pursue the select board suggestions, we will be included in the select board plans to be part of the new or renovated structure at 25 High Road. This would be a non-binding agreement to give the inspection committee and the COA options to be open to other possibilities for senior center should they present themselves. The second part of the motion would be the promise of select board that we would not be required to have a needs assessment on any option the select board has agreed. The needs survey would be sufficient to proceed on any option. This would, in the event there's shared space at 25 High Road, the expansion committee and COA would be included in all decisions regarding space and parking. In the event there is shared space at 25 High Road and the Board of Selectmen and our finance committee would be obligated to advise the COA and expansion committee of construction cost of the COA separated from any other space within. I can eliminate that part of it. Well, first of all, let's put it out for discussion.
Don't you have to have a motion
without anybody having a copy of this, I really think. But basically what it's saying that we're agreeing with the expansion committee to pursue the select board suggestion to be included in the select board plans to be part of the new or renovated structure at 25 High Road. And it would be a non-binding agreement in order to give the expansion committee and the COA options to be open to other possibilities for senior center should they present themselves. And then go ahead.
Can you ask Alicia, isn't that sort of what already just happened?
No, that was, I thought for just the needs assessment. This is accepting the fact that we're going to be part of this proposal. That other one was
You mean the location at High Road?
Well, I thought it was saying that we are going to you know, maybe we don't need this.
Yeah, I think that, Joyce, I think what we were thinking is we don't know. We have no idea what the selectmen are thinking. And
Right.
they won't know until after they get the needs assessment back.
Right.
We just, we were feeling like we were bound to certain parameters here, and this motion was to separate us from that in case we wanted to do something else. But I think that I think there's been enough explanation from Alicia that we wouldn't once we get the assessment done, we really wouldn't need this wording. I think it's more of an understanding that
Okay.
that we
All
can,
right.
I mean,
I understand. I guess it was just your thoughts at the time, and and it was an explanation to our board members is what it was. So
Yeah.
we're going to set it aside, and
Well,
we're
see
gonna
what
agree.
Joyce, see what the other board members feel. Do they feel
Yes,
that
I will.
we're okay?
All right, so I'm going to ask for discussion if everybody is comfortable with what we've discussed today, and all have, well, would like to presume that we're going to be able to move ahead and be part of the new town hall structure as long as it meets our needs. And that's the motion, open for discussion.
And can I interject for a minute?
Sure.
I don't think I think you're premature. I think we need to wait and see what the needs assessment are, because I don't know what I don't know, and
right.
Nobody really knows what they don't know. So I think that's assessment. But Evelyn, I need a little clarification. What was your intent on that for that motion? Like, what was the outcome that you were trying to achieve?
Well, I just wanted to feel confident that if there was, that we weren't bound to just looking at 25 High Road.
No, you're not. You're not at all. And
Yeah.
I would stay away from saying anything that is making an assumption that you're not sure of.
Correct. And it was because there was so much uncertainty, Alicia, that I was trying to come up with ways that the board would have freedom to bring into the picture anything that comes our way.
Well, ultimately, I think I got to go back to this. Ultimately, the Board of Selectmen is going to be or the select board, I should say, is going to have the final say on what not programming, but what building or what solution, that's the better word, what solution is going to get put on the warrant for town meeting.
Correct.
Ultimately, the select board will do that, but we are nowhere near that point yet. We need to determine what your needs assessment, your space needs assessment are, your program needs assessment are. And then, I think you have to look at it like we're a team. It's not just a dictatorship. The select board isn't going to tell the Council on Aging Board of Directors, you have to do this. And I would not expect the Council on Aging Board of Directors to turn to the select board and say, well, you have to do it our way. I think it needs to be, in order to, we need to agree on a solution, and that is the only way it's going to pass at the town meeting floor. So I think that to try to put parameters on it at this early stage is a big mistake. I wouldn't do that.
Thank you, Alicia.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, I want to put you guys in the best position to succeed. I want to see you set up for success. I don't want to see what happened at the police station to happen to the Council on Aging. Fail it, and keep coming back, because ultimately you need a solution. And you know, this is our first bite at the apple and I want to see it successful. Do I believe that the town hall is the right solution? I don't know that yet. I want to see what the needs assessment is.
All right, that sounds great. I think then we'll just,
Table it.
yeah, table that. We'll, for further discussion if it's ever needed. And I want to thank you all for being so patient with this today in more ways than one. And thank you, Alicia.
Oh, you're welcome. And I'm going to look to try to find some, I'm going to try to ask the board members, the select board members to see if they can expand this committee and get you guys some help. You got, you know, I want to get this bigger. I know Janine was thoughtful enough to volunteer and sit on the committee, and that's wonderful, but you need more help. We just had Chaz resigned today. And
we have other people that want to join, but it has seemed rather difficult to join the council. So
why is that?
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
the last we heard, Evelyn, Tracy said to move on as normal until the COA gets approved at town meeting. And so we'll try doing that and see how it goes.
Yeah, you have to. The residents of the town, the elders, they depend on you guys too much. You can't just stop doing whatever it is you're doing because they'll suffer.
We'll continue to look for new board members. And with Janine, could you make sure, Alicia, that she's, oh, excuse me, go ahead. Janine, did you want to speak?
No, I was just going to say, it'd be nice if we can get some guys on board too, because
a diverse board, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Senior men have different ideas than us senior ladies. But I think that diversity is going to be important.
Thank you. And
it's hard to get people to sit on any board or committee, I'll be honest with you.
Okay, I have just one more statement. Janine is waiting for it to be approved by the Board of Selectmen. We expected it to happen at your last meeting. Could you make sure that you have the proper paperwork or whatever is needed, Alicia, that it happens at your next meeting?
Yeah, I'll bring it up to the chairman.
Yeah, she's not voting.
I think that's on the agenda for the 24th.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
That's where I should have asked Cindy.
She knows more than me.
You're welcome.
All right, well, I thank you all. And do we need to, we're going to take a vote to adjourn?
Before you adjourn, I just want to say one thing to you guys. I mean, I thank you so much for doing this work because it's so needed in the town. And if you ever have any questions or just email me. I am more than happy to help. I'll sit in on meetings if you need it. I mean, like I said, this is going to be a joint effort and I want to set us up for success.
Thank you.
We can hit it out of the park.
All right. This is a motion to adjourn. Jerry Dorr.
I second.
Evelyn.
Yes.
Jerry, this is the motion. Yes. And Sandra Small.
Yes.
And Joyce Mature, yes. And thank you all. And Cindy, it was good to see you. Congratulations, you're doing great.
Thank you. So, good to see everybody.
Yeah, same here. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
We didn't set a meeting.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, thank you. Sandy, we didn't set a meeting date. Would you make it for the 3rd? That we have to discuss. So, it's on the 21st. Maybe we should put it the 16th.
How often do you guys meet? Do you meet monthly? Do you meet every other week? How do you meet?
The 3rd Thursday, the 3rd Monday of the month, and it's on the 21st, I think. And I don't know if that's too close for Christmas or if we should go back to the 16th. Jerry, do you have any thoughts?
No.
All right.
No, I know. I'm just missing the pool now, guys. My.
Sandy, is the 21st okay for you?
Fine for me.
All right, me. How about, okay, we're good. Evelyn, you good?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, we'll leave it the 21st. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Bye now.
Bye, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you.
Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. It was so nice. Thank you.